Featherhead, Sky Hunter. The Aarakocra have been known by many names. Hello everybody, welcome to Mimic Memories, brought to you by the Cajun DM. Here we'll be discussing the many monsters in Dungeons & Dragons as well as their traits, lore, and role-playing styles. You may have figured out that today we'll be discussing the Aarakocra. Aarakocra range from the howling gyre, an endless storm of mighty winds and lashing rains that surround the tranquil realm of Aarakocra in the elemental plane of air. Making aerial patrols, these bird-like humanoids guard the windy borders of their homes against invaders from the elemental plane of earth, such as gargoyles, their sworn enemies. The Monster Manual gives us some hint as to how the Aarakocra live and operate. It tells us of the Wind Dukes of Aarakocra in the elemental plane of air that the Aarakocra serve, spying on malign elemental creatures and scouting for temples of elemental evil. In the material plane, however, they build large nests on tops of mountains and near entrances to portals that lead to the elemental plane of air, keeping an eye out for potential threats. Aarakocra will guard a region for years. Of course, this isn't ideal for an Aarakocra, as they prefer to live their life like the wind itself, free and ever moving. Having no concept of political borders or property ownership, it's not uncommon for Aarakocra to steal livestock from farmers. They believe that you should take what you need and cast the rest into the wind for others to use. The Aarakocra are aerial creatures. Being most comfortable in the sky, they are very reluctant to land and prefer to do so near water where they can bathe their feathers. Having some bird-like mannerisms, they frequently tend to their feathers and have a fear of confinement. Because of this, Aarakocra will rarely enter buildings and caves. This is so much of a fear that it may even erode their combat prowess, becoming abnormally quiet or even breaking down in panic at the sight of combat. Aarakocra are bird-like humanoids with hollow, fragile bones, weighing in at under 100 pounds. They are skilled flyers and very dexterous. Because of their fragile bones, Aarakocra prefer to fight in the air and avoid grappling combat. Dive attacking a target, then escaping is the preferred method of attack in most cases. Most Aarakocra favor javelins, saving the last one to use as a stabbing weapon rather than throwing it. That being said, it isn't as though Aarakocra are powerless without their weapons. Aarakocra are equipped with large talons that can be used to rip apart their prey if they are cornered, and can even be used to wield their weapons if they find themselves needing their hands for other purposes. But enough about combat, let's talk about the birds. And well, the birds. Aarakocra, like most birds, have a mating season once a year, during which the male plumage, which is normally vibrantly colored, becomes even more striking as to best attract the female, whom usually have duller colors. Aarakocra colonies are usually divided among gender lines. The males hunt, while females craft weapons and tools such as javelin from stone and wood. These tribal groups can grow up to about 30 individuals, their hunting grounds extending out over 100 miles on either side of their nests. A tribe marks its hunting areas with colorful banners and pendants, with each tribe having a unique design. These pendants and banners are usually crafted by the female Aarakocra during the incubation period for the eggs, where they'll use both their hands and talons to weave vines and feathers to make these useful objects. That's enough of the lore. Let's talk about the role play. Ask yourself one question. Why is my Aarakocra an adventurer? Is it on a mission to find the rod of 7 parts? Did its nest get destroyed by an elemental attacker? Is your Aarakocra one of the rare that seek to be glorified? Was your egg sold on the black market? All of these are good adventurer building points, but truly, when making your character sheet, ask yourself these questions. Why did your Aarakocra wake up and decide to leave its nest and become an adventurer? When interacting with the world around you, will your Aarakocra tend to wander off in thought, forgetting that it's even speaking to another person? Will it playfully challenge someone to a race and then fly over the buildings, not considering the fact that their competitor cannot do the same? All of these things will separate you from the crowd, will make you unique amongst the people, not to mention the feathers in the bird head, as Aarakocra are not usually seen in cities. Will your fear of being captured keep you from going inside the tavern? When in the caves, will you roll with disadvantage on your perception checks? DMs, will they encounter other Aarakocra? Will those Aarakocra be accepting of an adventurer, seemingly a Looney Tune? In their eyes, all of these questions are important questions to ask. When speaking, will you add in chirps, little head nods? Will you sleep in the tavern or on top of it? Are you preferring to keep your distance high above the battlefield, giving yourself a bird's eye view, keeping yourself out of the way while always taking the shot, while your enemy's eyes are trained on its foe in front of it? You'll sweep down from above, snapping its neck as you pass. Whatever your answer to these questions, know that there are no right and wrongs, and communicate with your DMs. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like it, please like, subscribe, comment suggestions below. I will be moving my way alphabetically through the Monster Manual and then proceeding on to other books, so please follow for more.